337 for 8 by New Zealand in their 50 overs after being inserted in. Looked like it was a great decision, 11 for 2 with Devon Conway and Henry Nicholls out. But then a 200 plus run stand between Daryl Mitchell ends this series with 352 runs, 219 runs. Glenn Phillips with an attacking knock. And towards the end, India did pull things back. But that missed run out of Mitchell by Kuldeep Yadav, a dropped catch by Rohit, and India will have to defy a bit of history here at the Holkar Stadium, because 2 times a team has won out of the 7 while chasing. Both have come by India, but the totals were 288 and 293. Rest of the 5 times India won while defending a total. So whether there will be dew, because yes, there will be dew in Indore, considering the weather situation. It's not that cold, but it's not that hot either. It's pleasant conditions. So yes, we might have to see something historic happen. India will be chasing the highest total down. New Zealand could breach Fortress Indore today. Because
and Fortress India, really, they've never won an ODI series.
Never.
Okay, a few questions. Firstly, you said India pulled things back. I think New Zealand were 58 for 3 at one point.
He meant pull things back after the middle overs, which were disastrous.
No, but overall, 58 for 3. My first question is 58 for 3. Are you happy with 338?
They should have been restricted to under 300. Maybe 270, 280 at most if you're being polite. The problem is that once again, that same problem of the middle overs not getting you wickets. It's been an issue last match also. And even in the match prior, you can say, I think this entire series, you've not really gotten much in the middle overs. And once again, that same thing happened. They were allowed to settle. Last game, it was, I think, Will Young and Daryl Mitchell. This time, it was Daryl Mitchell and Glenn Phillips. Once they settled, then no one looked like they
your spinners yet again, and whoever is your backup 4th pacer, they let the game drift away. 12 overs for 89 from both the spinners. Normally, they would be the ones shoring up in the middle overs. That didn't happen.
The only person I can see in this team at the moment who is capable of, or someone you can rely on to bring you back in the middle overs, quite honestly, in this entire bowling lineup is only Kuldeep Yadav. Quite honestly, Jadeja used to be that bowler at one time. He's not that bowler again. The fast bowlers that you have are usually good with the new ball. I can't even say good at death that much. I mean, Siraj had a good day today, but other than that, also your bowlers are usually also going to pick wickets early on. The wickets that came towards the end, Harshit picking up were all, you're trying to go for glory shots. So none of your fast bowlers are that. Your backup bowlers aren't that. So the point is, the fact that in this entire series we've not been able to pull things back is primarily down to one person, and that is Kuldeep Yadav, and him not being in form. And I'm not going to blame him, because again, every bowler will go through ups and downs, and it seems to be a bit of a downtime for Kuldeep Yadav. But having said that, 2 questions come there. One, what has happened to Kuldeep Yadav? And 2, can you just go with that one bowler? Shouldn't you have another bowler who's capable enough of getting you those middle over wickets if Kuldeep is not there? The only one I can think of can do it going forward will be a Jasprit Bumrah. But he's not playing at the moment for obvious reasons, so you know that you're resting him. But when you play a full strength team on a given day, Kuldeep's not getting wickets, I know who I have to go to maybe bring me back into the game, get me that wicket. But while he's not playing in the current scenario, why don't you have a second bowler, and what has happened to Kuldeep? 2 questions.
To answer the second question, what's happened to Kuldeep? I think he's met a batter finally who's been able to tackle him and put his lengths and line alright. Daryl Mitchell. You saw a glimpse of it in 2023. Mitchell would step down the track, he would employ the sweep, he would then employ the cut shot. Mitchell at this point in time, when he played that 100 against India at Rajkot, they said like how he put Kuldeep Yadav off this lengths. One delivery, he's stepping down the track. Kuldeep realized, okay, I don't have to flight it, I'll bowl flatter. But it's too full, he employs the sweep. Here also, when you look at it, Kuldeep couldn't bowl his full quota of overs. Mitchell targeted him, and from that, Glenn Phillips also targeted him. Now, classic example, that one over in which he was stonked for a 6. Later on, he bowled a wide delivery which spun wide. Mitchell tried to sweep, but it was a no ball. Phillips realized that yes, Kuldeep is trying to not vary his lengths that much. What does he do? He hangs back. Kuldeep bowls a seam-up delivery, flat. He gets tonked for another 6. Because Mitchell is pushing Kuldeep's lengths and line awry, he's got no plan B. And we have seen often, I mean in 2019 under that period 2021, when one batter goes after him and there's no supporting act behind him, he does lose confidence. And it is a slump, and this is where he's met his match in this series in Daryl Mitchell.
No, so fair point about Daryl Mitchell, but then sometime there is a Will Young, sometime there's a Glenn Phillips also notching up runs, no? Maybe you can pick up wickets from the other end and have one man.
That's the part I was coming to, is that with Kuldeep, he's normally a very class operator. More often than not, you can have him in the middle overs and be guaranteed that no one's A, going to get runs off him, and B, he'll get you at least a couple of wickets. What happens when his form dips? Look at your 4th and 5th and 6th bowling option. You've got Jadeja, who, again, your 5th and 6th rather, you've got Jadeja, who at this point in his career is just a container, not looking to get you wickets at all. And Nitish also, look, he bowled 8 overs, so I think he at least got a fair clip as far as his overs go. But there was never a wicket-taking threat. He was mostly looking to contain, and the New Zealand batters also at times did go after him. There were times he came back well from that, so fair play to him, but no wickets. And he's not a wicket-taking threat in this format for sure. He's gotten a few wickets here or there in tests, but in ODIs, I don't see that. Again, I always go back to a kind of bowler. If you had a Shardul here, you might have a different story, because he's someone who can, even if he gets hit for 2 fours, can get you a wicket here or there. He'll go for similar runs as a Harshad does, but he'll get you wickets. Same thing. You don't have a wicket taker right now. Jadeja's not getting you wickets I don't think he's gotten a wicket this series. Correct me if I'm wrong. I don't think last 2 games he's definitely not gotten wickets. But the first one I'm not remembering. But same with Nitish also. 2 games now, nowhere close to the wicket. So you know that if you get a Kuldeep under pressure, then the other 2, your 5th and 6th bowling options are freebies.
No, Nitish, I think they gave overs today, because I think all the criticism that came their way, I think we discussed that as well, that if you're not going to have trust in Nitish's bowling, then why are you playing him? Might as well play a better batter, right? He only comes in because he has bowling ability. So I think today, in an effort to justify that you've got a all-rounder, you've given him those many overs, knowing fully well that nothing really magical is going to happen. It's not that he'll help you, bring the game. I mean, in that sense, Jadeja bowled 6. I could very well have bowled Jadeja also 10 overs and got the same returns that Nitish would have done. So I only go to a bowler when there is something he's bringing to the table. No, like you gave Shardul's example, he can be a 6th bowler, but I know with him, okay, he's got a few tricks up his sleeve. He can be expensive, but he's got a few tricks up his sleeves and can get me those wickets.
You're right, Shane. Not a single wicket for Jadeja.
With Nitish, I don't think, but I'm just saying there would be no difference. I mean, would you need a Nitish then?
No.
If I just had to go through motions and ensure that my overs are done without, the batters plundering the bowling, then even Jadeja would have given you those 10 overs. You only go to the 6th bowler because he's the person with the golden arm or, can bring in those wickets or whatever. That's why I said Washington you can still trust, because he's a test level bowler and on a given day if it's his day, he can pick you 3-4 wickets. And if Kuldeep's not doing it, maybe Sundar does it on that day. But Nitish is not that guy, and that's the problem that this Indian team has. Either they pick up wickets up front with a new ball, which they did today, and yet in the middle overs you've got nobody.
And the same thing happened last game also. Harshad got you those 2 early wickets. Siraj was struggling a lot in the last game, I remember. So was Prasid. But Harshad got you 2 wickets. I think, okay, you've gotten early inroads. Now what do the middle overs bring you? The middle overs brought you nothing. Zilch. Because they just took the pressure off by putting the pressure back on you. They played conventional basic. Again, the chase wasn't high. It didn't require dynamic batting. But they just took the pressure off themselves by saying, it's not a high chase. Why do we need to take risks? We'll not take risks. We'll make the Indian bowlers take risks. And because there was no one who was willing to take a risk with the exception of Kuldeep, at this point, your middle overs bowling is a one-trick pony. Yeah. Without Kuldeep, you're doomed.
And not aided by immediate spread out fields. Confusing captaincy. Where is the right fielder? I mean, if you're placing the fielder there, the line and length has to be good. Look at the second last over. Harshit Rana had fielders on the leg side. What does he do? He bowls one offside. And inside out, he gets hit over extra car. your bowlers are not following up on the plans also, which is what Harshit Rana did. Siraj was the only one who followed up to the plans. That's why he's got 1 for 43. But again, when you've got the pressure, why you're letting it go? You have to keep on attacking, and this is where I think the ultra defensive approach has failed. You spread the field out in the middle overs, they're easily getting runs. Easily. And you put your best spinner under the pump yet again. So there was no plan B. If I am a first time viewer of cricket, I'll think, okay, maybe Nitish Kumar Reddy is my 4th out and out pacer, and Jadeja is my 6th bowling option, part-timer. When it is the other way around. You could have given more to Jadeja, and Nitish should have had less of the overs. But since your spinners...
But that's, I mean, whatever you do,
You're not
the return's going to be the
They're
same.
exactly going to be.
I mean, there's a nitpicking if we say give Jadeja more, Nitish. I mean, you can do whatever. The fact of the matter is you do not have the arsenal to trouble them there. And I think the New Zealand team knows that pretty well. And that's why I said they're 58 for 3. They're not panicking. They know it's a long game. It's 50 overs. Take your time. Now the field will spread out. They don't have an X factor sort of a bowler. If we don't make silly mistakes, that's why there were phases in the game where 30 deliveries, no boundaries and so on and so forth. But they didn't panic. They knew very well. If you don't give away your wicket, you're going to get runs. The other important thing is going to be now where the game is. And I think, we can discuss as much if you want to discuss the finer points of the game, but it'll all boil down to what the conditions are and it'll all boil down to what the result is. And I think all of that is going to depend on, as we have seen through this series, the team that's chasing is winning. Is there going to be dew in Indore?
There will be dew in Indore.
You've got local knowledge.
Yes.
Bhopal's
local. No, but the conditions there are different. 210 kilometers away in Bhopal, it's colder than the conditions in Indore. Indore is slightly warmer. So that is where I think you will see dew. The conditions won't deteriorate much. It all boils down to the discipline that the New Zealand bowlers bowl. Because see, in Rajkot, when you look at it, no team had chased. But then you chased and you won.
Because dew came, even though people weren't expecting dew, that dew did come.
Here you will see dew. But the problem is, have New Zealand posted far too many? Because the highest chase is 293 and 288 in Indore.
I don't think, I think if you...
What's your sample size?
7 matches, only 2 games have seen chases. The rest of the 5 have seen teams batting first win. Yes. That's the thing in Indore.
But also would depend which time of the year those games happened. I think that's also
the Australia game in which it happened in 2017 was in October.
Where they chased it down.
When they chased it down.
Yeah.
Rohit had a
dew would have been there at the time.
Yes. Yeah. Yes. And the England game that happened in 2006 around the same period, November-ish.
So basically dew.
Yeah.
There they go.
So it does become easy, but I think the valid point is that those totals were still sub 300 totals that were chased down. This is 337, so it's not just about 305, 310. It's substantially more than 300, which means you have to be, on the ball. So 337, how do you look at it at the moment? What would you say? Let's say there's dew, as we've established.
I don't think the total worries me. Not as much. I think if you get a good start, and when I say good start, I mean don't lose any early wickets, score at about 5, 5.5, keep wickets in hand, you have plenty of batting. And you've got a batter in Kohli who thrives in chases. I think you're okay. I understand the sample size which is mentioned, obviously sub 300 totals is what's mostly done, but we also live in an era now where I've seen such totals chased and it doesn't worry me that much. The key is though if New Zealand get a couple of early wickets. Then I think the pressure is very much on. So if I'm India, I look to start slow, do exactly what the New Zealanders did when they were 3 down. Don't panic, wait for the right moments, take your time, keep the scoreboard ticking over, and I think the game should be okay.
I have similar sentiments because see, this is right up Virat Kohli's alley. Okay, 338. Age, many people say, oh, we need a 2015, we need a 2017 Virat. No. He's got a calculated blueprint towards a chase, and that is why it all depends upon him now.
So you're saying if Virat doesn't fire today, India are losing this one?
Very much so. Because see...
let me put it this way. And to the two of you, if India are 58 for 3 like New Zealand were, are they winning it?
If Kohli's still at the crease, yes.
Okay.
If not, probably not.
And you're discounting our two MVPs. I did that interview with Robin
Shreyas and
Uthappa and Akash Chopra. One picked Shreyas as the MVP in ODIs in the last 2-3 years. The other picked KL.
I know.
And you're conveniently ignoring the two.
I mean, KL, there's a caveat. If there's too much pressure, sometimes he doesn't step up to the plate.
He is the one who stepped up on the Champions Trophy, both your games.
But were we chasing
semis, final, but that pitch.
This brings
pressure,
a different kind
there was
of pressure.
This
brings a different kind of pressure. Because see,
more than Champions Trophy, more than an ICC tournament, more than the semis and final of an ICC tournament. It's a bilateral series.
Every situation is a different kind of a pressure altogether. See, it's never been chased down 338 in Indore, ever. You won 7 games on the trot in Indore ever since you started playing there. It's 1-1. It's not 2-0. That is why many people will say that bilaterals don't mean anything. But the players think differently. We have to win every series for India. We have to win everything for India. So that brings its own pressure at this point in time. So, see, KL can perform, but then the pressure of 58 for 3, if you're like 10 overs, you already are staring at an asking rate of over 7. Then I would say that Shreyas is far more of an MVP in this particular situation. So, it's tough. If you lose 3 wickets, 58 for 3, it's tough for India. Without your chase master in the equation.
Now I don't want ifs and buts. What? Now you have to... which was the team that wasn't called Australia that beat India in a bilateral series? Would you know?
South Africa. 2015. Yeah. And before that, Pakistan. 2013 to 12-13.
The last time you played bilaterals?
So let me put it this way. Will New Zealand be the first team that's not called Australia to beat India in a bilateral ODI series at home in the last 1 decade? That's the correct question, right?
No, I think they're not.
There's much at stake, huh? Let's not forget, New Zealand's India's only going through those heartbreaks of 2 whitewashes at home in test match cricket.
And New Zealand have never won in India a bilateral series, and the last
ever
they've never won a bilateral series in India ever. And the last time this similar thing was pulled out, they whitewashed India 3-0 in a test series, although they had won 2 tests, but they hadn't won for 36 years after that, and then they swept you. Here again, you've not lost in Indore ever, you've not lost a bilateral series to New Zealand at home.
Plenty at stake.
Plenty at stake. That's what the pressure is.
Yeah,
not so much of ICC, but of reputation. You lost to a team that didn't have 5 or 6 A-listers in the very beginning.
Yeah.
That's going to call for a lot of rage that's going to come up if that happens. And the players very well know that. And no one will be immune to it. But I think...
now no ifs and buts. Now
they have the depth. India have the depth. I think they should chase it too.
It'll be close, but they'll chase it.
I'll be the devil's advocate.
Last time you were a devil's advocate.
And I got it right.
Yeah.
See, if it had been sub 320, I would have been slightly more comfortable. Anything over 320 is dangerous entry, and they've got 17 more runs, which on paper looks quite. It's not that India. 350 are also easily chaseable. We'll have to see how much dew comes in, what kind of performance churned out by batters. But I'm just saying, like you talk about that pressure, and if you were to lose a few wickets, that would be the real test. I have a feeling that the game would be decided. Typically, India to win, you'd say the top order, just wins it. But I have a feeling the game would be decided. Your all-rounders would be called in to perform today. All-rounders meaning the manufactured all-rounders in a Nitish, a Jaddu and a Harshit.
Yeah.
Today will be their test. If they pass the test, India go through. Otherwise. If they fail the test, they put India.
Yeah. But again, number 4 and number 5 today did well for New Zealand. Number 4 and number 5 for India, Shreyas and KL.
The 2 MVPs.
It's on them also to do it, because it looks like this wicket, the new ball is the key. After that, it flattens up and then it's so soft you get easy runs.
Yeah, today also in India were bowling, the new ball was doing a bit.
Yeah.
I thought that there'll be like plenty of grass or something that must be, but I didn't see.
There is a grass to keep the pitch together, but underneath it was a belter. It was a flat wicket.
Yeah.
Indore is traditionally like that only. It has always been a flat track, and by dimension 63, 62 meters.
And it's not quite cold as I see. It's quite comfortable.
It's very
Not like-
comfortable.
Not like here in north of India.
Yeah,
Today
that's
there
what
was fog till 12 in the afternoon.
Yes. No,
How much? 22 is nice and pleasant.
very pleasant. Yeah. As I said, the western part of Madhya Pradesh isn't that cold. You go up 200 kilometers up northern, Gwalior is colder than Bhopal. Bhopal is colder than Indore. Indore and Ujjain are kind of very okayish, very pleasant. You don't need a sweater, you need a fan, maybe you'll need an AC in some places. Yeah. In Ujjain, it's quite warm.
No,
So that's why, yeah.
Just as you need Mr. Chase Master today
Of course.
in Rohit Sharma.
And
Okay.
Rohit has a great record at this venue. Let's make one thing clear. Yeah, he has a very good record at this venue.
Virat Kohli, Rohit Sharma, both will have to step up. Okay, let's dive into some questions.
Yeah. Shubhadeep is like saying, Kuldeep and Jadeja both perform below average wickets in bowling in any ICC/series decider/finals in white ball and are not Warren Kumble Vettori.
Phew.
Yeah,
Hard to argue with that.
indeed.
Hard to argue.
Indeed. Manav Kaushal is given me a huge middle name. Siddharth C, because if you look at it, if I'm not mistaken, Vishwanath. That is my takya kalam here. What can I do about it?
Siddharth, see, because if you look at it, if I'm not
He's
mistaken.
basically taken all his
yeah.
popular
Yeah.
prefixes.
No, two only, no?
No,
No,
C.
C. Acha.
Because, but if you look at
it's
it,
such a common.
because
Ah,
it's pretty
C and
common.
because is okay.
If you look
If
at it,
you look at it,
and
I-
if I'm not mistaken,
Ha.
Those I agree.
yeah, those.
Yeah. Those are distinct as well. No?
Dhanush is like, saying, who's better, Shreyas in ODIs or Sky in T20s? What? Eyes closed, Shreyas in ODIs.
Yeah.
No, right now, sure.
No, even
Overall,
No, there was a time that Sky was
Sky
considered
was-
the best T20I batter
in the
planet.
world.
yeah,
Exactly.
but yeah, again, different formats you're comparing here.
That's also
No.
the tricky
I
part.
agree.
Yeah.
That's a different debate, na, Siddharth. But I have to answer the question as to what he's asked us.
Yep. Dev Pratap Singh Chauhan is saying, Nikhil bhai, whenever India have chased 332, Virat scores an iconic 100. I told Sidvi pre-match, Virat's wicket stands in an iconic series win for New Zealand. Best chance for Gill to silence all his critics.
Yeah, good chance
I
for
agree.
Gill as well. In fact, this is what I said last game, that Gill has been getting starts.
Yeah.
He's got 250s, and just when he's looking in sublime form
You throw it away.
against the runner play, he'll just give one
Yeah.
easy chance to the opposition and they get his wicket. That today he'll have to guard against.
Yeah.
And I think I agree with them. If you once you got a good start, you got a good base, your top three are firing, then you can't stop India from chasing this stuff.
Exactly.
I like what Brian Lara has to say. He says that when Jadeja scored
How
his,
can you not like what Brian Lara
Exactly.
say?
he says that when Jadeja scored his last ODI 50 in India, Manmohan Singh was the Prime Minister, Rohit was still playing in the middle order, MSD was your 3-format captain, and Sachin was still playing international.
Are you serious?
It's been that long?
Last ODI 50 in India. I'll have to-
Aye.
Yes, actually, the last ODI 50 of his that I properly remember was 2019. But that wasn't in India, the semi-final.
Wait, I'll just see.
Acha, in India.
Yeah, he's saying in
Ah.
India. That's the key rider, which is, oh man, that is bad.
He might be right. Because he's had only 250 plus scores in India. Okay. 61 not out versus England in Kochi 2013. 57 versus Australia in Guwahati in 2009. Not a single 50.
Yeah, so he's right. 2013 was, 2013, I think Rohit would have just started opening.
15th January 2013.
No, he was still in the middle order. Dear God.
Yeah.
But again, while this is quite a telling stat, but also I think in India, if you're batting at number 7,
You don't get many opportunities.
You don't even get a chance to bat. If you do this, like last few overs,
You're
no way you're
feeding
getting
off
a
crumbs.
50.
Yeah.
And then the time you get a chance, he would have gotten out as well. So yeah.
I mean, he got it against an attack of Steve Finn, Jade Dernbach, Chris Wokes, Amit Patel, James Treadwell, and Joe Root. That was the England bowling lineup in Kochi.
That's quite a throwback.
Yes.
That's quite a throwback.
Jade Dernbach
And Chris Wokes, the recently retired Chris Wokes.
and Stephen.
Very
Yeah.
interesting.
Rohit is saying, are our spinners good enough to contain an attack like Ashwin and Prime Jadeja?
No.
No.
Rohit, that's, I think, a straightforward answer. And I think that's been the core of our discussion. That you're not, Jadeja is not the same force. And of course, Ashwin isn't around. Kuldeep is the only guy, but when he's not in form.
And that's the worrisome thing also. If you look at our squad, we don't actually have a pure backup spinner. Varun may be there in T20Is, but in ODIs, I think the last time he was properly in contention was the Champions Trophy. That's also because you were playing like 4
No,
spinners.
your other spinners, Wash, he was also an all-rounder.
Yeah.
And he's not necessarily the best spinner in the country as well.
Yeah.
I think he's there primarily because of his batting skills. And I think to be honest, I think he's a better batter than a bowler.
Yes.
And he's leveled up his bowling. Let's not take away anything from
No,
him.
no,
But he's
not
still an all-rounder. I'm talking pure
I'm more of
spinner.
a batter.
Yeah, you don't have a pure
Yeah.
spinner.
Yeah.
You just don't. And that's so worrisome. Because you look at the options, there aren't that many.
Like YouTuber 1577 is saying Zishan is a good option.
If we've reached a point where we're considering Zishan after one good IPL season, that tells you how bad the reserves are right now.
You have an Anukul Roy also.
But he's an
Anukul Roy.
all-rounder. Anukul is an all-rounder. He's doing phenomenally well with the bat.
The Delhi Capitals
Lalit, also all-rounder.
all-rounder.
Lalit Yadav.
Lalit Yadav,
Off spinner, but he's also an all-rounder.
yeah, that's the problem. You got too many all-rounders now.
You don't have off spinners or even
Ayush
leggies.
Badoni is the only guy. Off spinner and a finisher with the bat. That's Ayush Badoni.
Digvaj Rathi had a good IPL, but since
But he's
then
not a
he's...
batter.
No, I'm
we're
just saying
talking pure
spinners.
Pure spin. Marathi, he got tongued in the DPL.
DPL as well, and I think even in the SMAT he wasn't having a great time.
he wasn't having
If I
a-
recall if my
I
memory
think
serves
his
right.
downward spiral is coming up soon.
But I think,
Unfortunate.
I think he's also more of a T20ish kind of a bowler. Even with, I remember Varun, I had my doubts as to whether he'd be able to adjust to ODIs. Fair, he's done well.
Yeah, he's done very
But
well.
again, he's Digvesh is a similar kind of a bowler.
Yeah.
The mystery types work better in T20s. Varun was a bit of an exception in that regard.
I mean, you also had another spin bowling all-rounder, but he's nowhere in the scheme of things. Jayant Yadav. Playing in the GT squad, but
Nowhere to be seen.
not featured at all. Giant Yadav.
Yeah, but I think now he's past his...
He's fastest prime, yeah. He last played in 2017,
Yeah.
and he played the IPL final of 2020, and he got wickets, but still not enough.
For
Apparently.
Delhi Capitals, no, Jayant?
No, Mumbai.
Oh, he's in
He was
Mumbai at that point.
I think
Oh,
he was
okay.
in Mumbai Indians. He was there only
He
because
used to be, but I think now... Then he went to Delhi also.
yeah, and now he's in GT. I think Jayant Yadav. So that's what. But knowledge is like saying absolute batting track. There's no worry. NZ short of 30 runs, which is why I was tempted that India fought back, because at 277 for 3 in 40 overs, you should have crossed 350. I think they lost 5 wickets for 60 runs in the last
That
10
also?
overs. Yeah. I think that is where I think they might be 20-30 short.
How about Vipraj Nigam?
But he's a leg spinner.
No problem.
Yeah.
But an
But
all-rounder.
a proper...
That's what I was... That's the Delhi all-rounder I was talking.
Vipraj.
Yeah.
Vipraj,
is a
yeah,
good
yeah. It's a good shout.
Yeah.
But again, he'll need
Good
to prove
batter
himself
as
in
well.
this one IPL season. This
I
coming
know,
season, yeah.
I know. Sample size is less. But
Sample
Yeah.
size is really less because Bishnoi is nowhere close to being
See,
considered. And he's a pure spinner.
You've got one more in the under-19 setup who's transformed from a batter into a bowler, Vihan Malhotra.
Vihan, yes.
Vihan Malhotra picked up 4 wickets with his off-spin. You've got...
I worry for him though. Pure off spinner. Really?
That's what. But he's also been picked in RCB.
yeah, off spinner is the one who won you the match here versus Bangladesh.
Vihan Malhotra.
Vihan, my point is that's under 19 cricket. In senior level cricket now, a pure finger spinner. How many teams play? All your finger spinners are all-rounders.
You only have Ayush Badoni. That's it.
My point. He's also an all-rounder.
But again, off-spinning all-rounder.
My point is you don't have pure off spinners.
No, you won't have pure off-spinners as a breed is gone with Ashwin.
Yeah.
He was the last, and now you're in the extinction phase of off-spinners.
Yeah.
Pure off-spinners, may I add. No one, because see, the onset of power play, this new rules and everything, it's put the off-spinners as a dying species. And soon all-rounders, when you look at it, because of this stupid impact rule that you've got,
You may even have lesser than
lesser than that. You don't have a backup for a Dubey or a Hardik Pandya. Who's there?
Dubey. Why don't we play Dubey in ODIs?
But, instead
Yeah,
of
I
a
mean,
Nitish,
Place of Nitish,
exactly
that's
what
your
I was
option.
thinking. I think, and I thought about it today. I was just thinking about it today, and I think the primary reason is that maybe they're not really convinced about Dubey, the ODI batter. Does he have it in him to keep grafting? Slightly different style of batting. So I don't know whether They're fully convinced he can be that ODI batter.
ODI batter.
T20s, yes, we know that he can accelerate.
A proper batter.
Yeah.
He has to-
I've not seen much of him in 50 overs cricket.
He played a few games back in the day, 2019 types.
But I would bring him for the fact that whenever he's there, you don't lose.
You
and,
don't
you know,
lose, yes,
records
Yep.
and all
indeed,
of that.
indeed.
What a start!
At his favorite venue.
Creamed it.
Yeah.
Right through the covers.
Yes.
No, but I mean, to be fair, even though I've picked a different result, but I think just looking at the pitch, it was just seemed like a belter. So India would have to do something drastically wrong not to win this game, right?
But by the way, the other question, is Gambhir coming to the press conference today? This is the end of the series. He normally comes after the end of the series. I say yes, he is coming for the PC today.
That'll be an interesting PC, sir.
Yep.
We'll find out. Just last couple of questions. Knowledge says absolutely
we
batting
took that.
track. There is no. Sorry. Anshu Mishra, did you take? They made Rizwan stop batting for playing slow. They denied single to Babar because he plays too slow. This BBL must be 9-11.
By the way, if
But
you
yeah,
want
it was-
another cataclysm, Babar Azam 1 of 7 today against the Brisbane. Heat.
He didn't like that Steve Smith thing. He didn't
For
do when he was
obvious
going out.
reasons.
He like
Steve Smith was batting at a strike rate close to 250. Babar Azam was just over 130.
yeah. He didn't like that.
And that's my big thing.
And Smith did it very nonchalantly, like it's all right. No wait.
What's even funnier is that in this BBL, we've seen Smith batting at strike rates of 150, 160. Every batter I see is batting at top strike rates because usually for the BBL they flatten the pitches out, which is why I don't take anything I watch there seriously.
Yeah.
They're scoring at 120. Are you kidding me?
Look. The leading test batter of all time in Australia currently has also got the most BBL hundreds ever. That's the standard.
In fact, you want one better one. I remember right after Usman Khwaja announced his test retirement, played the test match, came back to play for I think Sydney Thunder only.
Yeah.
Came back to play for Sydney Thunder. First match gets half century. Batting a strike rate of 180. I'm like, what? It's a test batter. He's coming and scored 180. I don't take anything in that league seriously.
Retirement, Warner scored 100. Last game, Sydney Derby.
Warner was batting at a strike rate of 170, 180. The same Warner who can't hit Bondos in the IPL. So, yeah, make up that what you will.
Warner is the GOAT.
I'm talking
overseas
about
guy,
Warner now. Prime Warner was a different beast.
Warner, I mean,
Towards the end of his.
Yeah.
Towards the end of his career, he looked like he was all at sea.
exactly.
He looked like he saw Stuart Broad every time.
Came back to Delhi. That was quite.
That was terrible, yeah.
Forgettable sort of a season.
Yes.
Yeah, that was bad.
Okay, we'll take a leave. Back soon.
Yeah. Back for the series decider.
Yeah.
Post-match. Let's see how that drives us. So, yep. Join us then. Until then, from all of us, bye-bye. See you soon.
Big 50 overs coming up.
Big 50 overs coming up.